Hi, my name is Cece and welcome to another Tutorial Tuesday. Be prepared to get inky because today I'm using a lot of sprays, stencils, molding paste, gesso, all that good stuff, and I'll be altering a 6x6 canvas stitched book. To complete today's project, you'll definitely need a craft mat and a heat tool, one 6x6 canvas stitched book, gesso and light molding paste, color shine sprays in primrose, mustard, and mint green, disc stamp number K5-2281 by Stampers Anonymous, jet black archival ink, Helmar's quick dry adhesive, stencil number TCW322S mini chunky chevron, number TCW280S mini blazonry, number TCW216S mini if you believe, TCW403S mini peacock doily, TCW424S mini mod spirals, TCW398S mini squiggles, from the Kite Company number KS034 pinwheel and KS023 bead curtain, from the Tim Holtz collection number THS011 schoolhouse, THS001 cargo, THS006 dot, THS007 burlap, a bucket of water and a paintbrush, as well as a palette knife. I'll also be using a paper collection by Prima. It is the All About Me collection, and here are the papers that I'm going to be using. This one is Keep It Nerdy, and I'll be using this side of Celebrate With Me, All in the Mix, Picture Perfect, Love the Rain, Tell Me About It, Write Me, and Dottie. I'll start by spraying the front and the back cover. So I will open up the book like so. On the front cover, I'll cover it up with some paper. On the back cover, it's going to be a stencil. So I will grab the mini chunky chevron stencil and I will layer that onto the back portion. And with the mint green color shine, I will spray on these two pages. I will also spray on the cord. And I'm not aiming for something even. And to finish off the dyeing process of the cord, I will just grab the leftover on my mat. Alright, so I will I will remove the stencil, and this is how it looks. It's gorgeous. So I will dry this and then we'll continue with the rest. Okay, so to dye the cord, here's a trick that I just discovered. If you spray water on the actual cord, it will sort of dilute the color shine, and with your fingers you can spread that color to make it more evenly. So now I'm going to dry this with the heat tool. Now that the front and the back covers are dry, I went ahead and chosen my papers, the stencils, and the color scheme. So these three colors of color shine, they coordinate with that one collection that I have. I'm trying to keep this simple. And what I'll do is I'll go in this order. So the front and the back covers are mint green, then I'm going to go the next page, I'm going to go mustard and then primrose, and then I'll come back to all these three colors. So that helped me decide which paper to use. Now I went ahead and cut each paper that I've introduced in the supplies list. I cut them down to 5.5 by 5.5. And I have put them in the book, and then I decided on the stencil that would best go with that paper. So this will be the front cover, and then I have the next page, and I'm just going to run them through really quickly so that you can see, because my next action item is to spray each page with the stencil, and obviously I will remove the pattern paper while I'm spraying because I'm going to do the same thing as I did for the front and the back cover, meaning I'll have the stencil on the side and then I'll spray throughout these 2 pages. And we have the next one here. This one. And the last one. So I'm going to remove each of these pieces, keeping them in the same order so I remember where they go. And I'm going to get to spraying next. My spraying is now done, and here's what I did while I was spraying. I sort of hit it with the heat tool as I was going along, but I also helped the drying process by just putting like a very cheap paper towel in between the pages. So I'm just going to continue drying this, but here's what it looks like, and I love the fact that the pages are not perfect. As you can see here, I've got the green from the cover when I sprayed because I wasn't really careful, and that's all good. This is exactly what I want. Also, when I did this, the spraying, I did not hit the stencil very evenly. I wanted to do that, and also on the right hand pages, I didn't really spray a lot in the center because this is all going to be covered by paper. So I'm gonna keep drying this, and I'm going to show you first what each of the pages look like. I also like the fact that here I had sort of a thread going in from the frayed edges, and I have the imprint of that thread. I love that. Love the spots that I get. Again, this is very imperfect, and love that quote. Beautiful how it came out. I love that it's uneven. And these. So I'm going to dry this thoroughly, and I'll be right back. Okay, so my book is dry, and right now what I'm doing is I'm pulling on some of those stray threads that are around the edges of that book. This is canvas, so of course it's a fabric that frays, and it just adds to the beauty of that book. Got all these threads that I've pulled. I was having a lot of fun. Now I'm going to start gluing my pages, and I'm putting my first paper down, and I find that it's not completely square, just because, you know, you've got the signatures sewn here at the middle. So of course the top page will not be 6 by 6 exactly because of the spine. So I'm thinking I want to trim this down a little bit. Maybe I'll just trim it a 1/4 of an inch on the side here. Yeah, that's much better. So I'm going to use my quick dry adhesive. This is Helmar, and it's the 450 quick dry adhesive. And I'm going to put a bead of glue all around the edges and a little bit in the middle. And glue this down. I'm just going to hold it for a little bit. It dries quite fast, hence the name quick dry adhesive. So I'm now gluing the last page. I love that glue. It's really sturdy. It's paper. It's perfect for paper to fabric. Absolutely love it, and it takes no time to dry. Alright, so here it is. Let me just do a quick flip through. So we've got our cover. Let me zoom in. Alright, so this is the cover. I love those glasses. I find they're so nice and funky. Second page. There's a few monochrome pages. I did it on purpose. I find it's a good resting place for the eyes. So some pages are funkier than others, and some are more monochrome. Love that quote. This is another monochrome, as well as this one. And we've got the coloring pencils in the back. Okay, so I have tied the book just so that I know where the cord would go, and I want to put this quote in the front. I'm not going to add more paper. This is where the gesso comes into play. The gesso will give us a white area to stamp and to journal. So for the cover, I was going to just put the quote like sort of up here, but I wanted more towards the top actually. So before I go ahead and texturize the inside, because I'm going to add some light molding paste inside with some stenciling, I'm going to open the book this way and I'm going to do my stamping on top. So I'll add an area with gesso. I got my paintbrush here. Pick up some gesso from the lid. Oops. And let's see. Now I'm not overthinking it. Okay, so now that I have my area, I'm going to dry this. Now that it's dry, I'm going to stamp, but before I go ahead and stamp on this, I just want to test my stamp. Especially when I have a large area, a large flat area like that, I always like to test how it stamps. That's good. Alright, so I'm going to stamp in that spot now. And I'm using Jet Black archival ink. And there we go. Love it! Oh, I love that sign. It's so perfect for that book. So let me give you a close-up. Oh, love how that looks. Alright, so I've got the Schoolhouse stencil by Tim Holtz, and I'm going to do a bit of stenciling on the right hand side of this page. Actually, I might start from, do I want some here? Sure, why not? Love! This is so much fun. Alright, and I want this to go off the paper. Oh! I'm doing the happy dance right now. Okay, I'm gonna go wash my stencil. Be right back. Of course, you need to heat set this before proceeding to the next page. But the cool thing about light molding paste is that it dries fairly fast. Some to the cover, and I like how it turned out. The last thing I want to do is add the journaling spots, and like I did for the front cover, I'm going to use gesso for that, and I'm going to be very, very random about this. And definitely not perfect either. So as I go, I'm going to dry each area and then move on to the next page. Okay, so I decided to add some journaling spots as well on the stenciled side. I'm just going to flip real quickly. I decided to do some circles as well. And this one I didn't want to cover up because it's a quote. 2 spots here, 1 there, 3 ovals, some squares, and then this one here. Now I want to take an extra fine Montana paint marker, and I'm going to add a delimiting area or lines around these journaling spots. And I'm kind of want to be sketchy. You can even add some squiggles if you want. Seems to be the thing that I do the most. Just get that going. All right. Like I said, this is very sketchy. The style of the book sort of demands it. And it dries just like paint, so it's permanent. Here I'm going to do a very, very sketchy circle, sort of like patchwork. Just random things, you know. Just random doodling. Nothing, nothing fancy, nothing precise. Maybe I'll add some dots on this one here. Just having fun. And there you go. Before you have it, you have a mini album ready to journal or to add photos. You can do anything you want in this journal. There is no specific theme. And let me give you a quick flip through. So I love the cover. I love these little dots created by the molding paste. Love it. Love that stamp. This is like too precious. And we have our first double spread. And I like the look of the Montana pen to highlight the journaling block. You can also use those to add photos. Again, more stenciling. Some circle journal spots, which are fun. This one, just one square. This would be perfect for a photo, actually. It's a good size. Love that quote. 3 journaling spots on this one. Some ovals. I decided to do some doodling just for fun. Again, little squares at the corner just to add more doodling. And the last one. And the back cover, which only has the stencil. And if we close this book, which I believe closes this way, and you just tuck those, the 2 ends right in here, and there you go. That's it. This was a fun project to do. Now let me show you the other size that we have available at the store. So this is the 6x6 and this is the 6x12. Now this one I have done during one of our trips away. I believe this one was done in Boston while we were at the Collins group. And this one is a little bit more intricate. It's a door in the front here. And on that book you have a bigger ribbon to tie. Of course, I really tied it really well. Let me try and open that so I can show you. Now these were all decorated with, I believe, 7 gypsy papers and accessories. So we might not have all of this stuff in the store. Like I said, it was done a while back, but just to show you what you can do with this size as well. On here I've got some crackle paint, and I also added some Carmen glaze, the silks. Love that door handle. And then inside it's a little bit more, like I said, it's a little bit more intricate, but we added some paper, we sprayed some flowers. These are, like I said, the 7 Gypsies little pull tags with some sayings, a little pocket for a hidden message. I mean, you can go wild. You can do all that in that little book. Here I have a pocket, and here's another hidden pocket. This is fun. This you can do as well in your other, in the other size. What I did is I cut an area here in the back of the album, and I sort of turned the flap down and then glued it at the bottom. And to hold everything together, it's a long piece of cardstock that I wedged in between the 2 thickness of the canvas. So what I did is I just, there's a seam here, so I just undid the seam and then slid the cardstock in the back. So I have in fact created 2 pockets. Here are some journaling blocks and a bigger one here, and then the bottom, the end. So 2 fun journal. I love these stitch journals. I didn't think I was going to have fun with these, and boy was I ever wrong. I love this journal. The fabric, you know, it's a natural fiber, so it's a lot of fun to play with. They really take well to the inks, to the paint, to the gesso, anything you want to do with that. You can go really well. So that's it for today. I hope that you've enjoyed today's tutorial. If you have any questions or comments, as usual, leave them below, and I will be back on Friday.